Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today. Today is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever does not, just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Crow Oracle. MJ. Y'all know. Y'all know. Switchy Wednesday. We're doing some crow. 1 on the table. 2 on the table. First one was face down. The second one is right side up. If you hear a cat movement, that's the cats. Like, it's like they're in the nip right now. I don't know what the deal is. I went for a walk. I went for my afternoon walk, 3.5 miles, because it's my day off. And I come back and they're crazy. They're lunatics. They're degenerates. I think they're mad because I didn't feed them this afternoon. The thing is every time I give them an extra meal on my days off, I mean, I want to do that for them because I don't want them to, like, go hungry. But at the same time, I give them a third meal, like an afternoon meal, and then they either don't eat that or they don't eat their dinner. It literally is like dealing with, like, little kids with mac and cheese and hot dogs. For anyone that says I'm not a mother, oh, I'm a mother. Maybe not exactly like a mother, but I'm a mother. We got 3 on the table, 4 on the table, 5 on the table, 6 on the table. That one came out sideways. Is that significant? Maybe. Let's do one more shuffle. I'm going to do the Panther Oracle next. I don't think I'm going to do a tarot today. If you follow, if you subscribe, if you watched the postings from yesterday, I said I'm kind of sick of reading tarot, but at the same time, like, I love my tarot cards, so I want to read tarot. And I don't mean like I'm sick of reading tarot. It's just like I feel like I'm not in the mood. Like, lately I just felt like I'm not in the mood, but I love my cards, so I still want to read them. I don't know. All right, last shuffle. I just thought I would reshare that if you missed it yesterday. And I have my black coffee here, so if I take a sip, pardon me for drinking on camera. If you follow, if you subscribe, I say that all the time now. If you follow, if you subscribe, like yesterday or the day before, like I said, I thought I was losing my voice. I literally just watched a reading as I was doing my 3.5 miles for the afternoon, and he started coughing and then, like, sneezing, and he's like, I think I'm losing my voice. And I was like, that's me. You're channeling me. Or I'm channeling you, or we're all channeling each other because we're humans. Made me laugh. We got illusion. We got battle. Hey, just so you guys know too, if I share a tarot reader, like if I share a video on YouTube, that's what those are the people that I watch. Like, I don't, yeah, just an FYI. We got fear. Like, I don't post somebody's stuff, like, to make fun of it or anything like that, or, whatever. No, I post things that I watch that I like. It's not really often, though, that I feel the need or I feel called to share it with you guys, because I just figure if you want to watch, you're going to watch whoever you're going to watch, right? We got growth. We got sacred space. I was thinking about posting the British lady, though, that buys the Hattie Thorn cards. Like, I buy the Hattie Thorn cards. Except I think she really buys, like, all of Hattie Thorn's cards. I was thinking about sharing her because I really like her. We got exposed sideways. And then bottom of the deck, we've got release. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So when the illusion and the battle card fell out, the first thing I heard was someone thinks they're in fight mode. Someone thinks they're battling. Like someone thinks, it almost gives like somebody thinks that they're up against another person. Like, kind of like competition energy, right? Like, you know how like you hear, and I mean, I've done readings like this before 1,000,000 times, but you hear like readers say like, oh, they think they're in competition with you. It kind of gives that idea. Like somebody is illusion. It's an illusion for them, right? Maybe a delusion if you want to say it like that, but they feel like they're in battle with somebody else. And I'm not going to lie. It kind of gives me it kind of resonates for me a little bit because it reminds me of the girl at work, the lady at work that I was friends with that may or may not be with the guy that I'm in love with or not in love with, or it changes on the daily. But yeah, like I seriously think that she thinks that we're in competition, and I'm literally just coming to work every day and doing my job and going home. I don't know. I don't get it. And it's just a feeling I get, right? Like it's just my intuition, right? Saying, hey, she thinks that you two are in competition. We're not in competition. Like we're not for anything. Like we're not in competition for him. We're not in competition for friends. We're not in competition for work. Like I don't play games like that. I don't think like that. You know what I mean? It kind of drives me nuts when I see it in other people, because it's like, baby, you do not need to feel like that. Like you are just wasting your energy if you feel like that. Seriously. It's my black coffee. I actually didn't have any this morning. I just had my electrolyte drink this morning. Probably going to need electrolytes and black coffee in the morning because I'm going to the gym before work because I'm going into work late. That's right. All right. So, all right. All right. So, all right. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the dealio, okay? And this applies to the lady at work too. When you really think about being in competition with another person, what do you think backs that? What do you think emotion is behind competition? Like, why would you think that you need to battle somebody or be in competition with somebody unless this is there in the back of your mind? And I can very easily tell you the lady at work why she would feel like she's in competition. She would feel like she's going to lose the guy. She would feel like she's going to lose other friends, that we have mutual friends at work. She's going to fear that I look better to other people than she does. And I don't even mean necessarily looks. It could be that. Pardon me. But I also mean like how we behave, how we talk to other people, how we treat other people. You know, if everybody loves me and she sees that, it's probably going to make her feel more of a need to one-up me, right? Like that one-upmanship, right? And I'm just using my own story as an example for you guys. You guys take how it resonates for you. Hey, if you ever look at the cards and you see something else in there that I'm not seeing, or you get a total different communication from God, feel free to put it in the comments. Seriously. I don't mind. Because I love to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions. I mean, that's why we're here. That's, you know, hello. And everybody's going to pick up on different energy, right? I mean, how many times have I watched another reader's reading and they said something and then I was like, well, maybe it's this. Maybe it's not technically that, but it's this. Everybody will look at cards and pick up on something else, you know? It's because everybody has intuition and psychic gifts. Everybody gets downloads. Everybody. Do not fight me on this. Everybody. Everybody has powers. Ooh. Everybody could be a witch if they wanted to. Ooh. I like that sound. What is that, like a dove? Ooh. Ooh. Like an owl, but isn't there a bird that, like a little bird that makes that noise? I should Google it. I'll forget, but I should Google it. I'll forget, but I should. Whoever this person is, they're gonna wake up, okay? This person is gonna wake up. They're gonna realize, like, what the fuck am I doing, okay? See, now this is where the energy really resonates, because I'm sure I've done this in the past, right? I'm sure everybody has done this in the past to someone else. Like, felt like you were in competition with someone. Well, why would you feel like you're in competition with someone? Like, get out of that energy, right? Move along. Here's the thing. When you are more, and I was thinking about this when I was walking, when I was listening to the other reader, I was thinking about this. When you are comfortable in your own skin, you are not worried about anybody else. You are not thinking about anybody else. Everybody else is background noise. Everything else is background noise. And it's not that you don't hate people. It's not that you hate people or you don't like people or you don't care or you don't love. But it's just like when you love yourself, you don't worry about all that other energy. You don't care. You know, like I don't care if I go to work and I look like a gym slob or a bum, you know, like I'm wearing my sweats and I go to work and all the other ladies have makeup on. I mean, I don't personally think they need makeup. They're beautiful the way they are. But I sure as fuck ain't gonna wear makeup. I couldn't care less, right? Like I don't wear makeup. And I'm perfectly okay going to work in my sweats. I mean, almost 100% of the time I go to work dressed for comfort. Because it's either too hot there, it's too cold there, I'm running around, you know, like I'm working, you know, basically doing a workout for 10 hours. I get in my steps for sure every day, you know. So I don't go there dressed like a fairy tale princess. And it's funny because that one day I went dressed, I did my tribute to Diane Keaton and I wore like a different kind of outfit and people were like looking at me weird and somebody asked me if I had a job interview after work. Oh my God, I laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off. And the funny thing is I didn't even wear anything special. I wore a long sleeve shirt. I wore my, just like a black cloth jumpsuit with like, straps. And then I wore my Medline shirt over it with my Medline logo where I work, right? I don't say that often, so that was a slip. Shh, don't tell anybody. I try not to mention them because I don't want anything to ever get weird with them. Well, you know, because if you say something and then they're like, you talk about us, whatever. Anyway, I wore my logoed shirt and then I just had on, I think, like 2 necklaces. I had my hat and I had my glasses, but it was funny because nobody was ever going to see my hat all day because I had it in my lunch bag. But I put it on to go outside for lunch. And when I came back from lunch, the fire alarm went off and everybody had to go out for a drill. So I put on my sunglasses and my hat. And when I walked outside, everybody was like, oh my God, why are you dressed so nice today? Because I usually don't. And I usually don't give a shit, you know? Somebody is going to realize, or somebody is realizing, or somebody did realize that that kind of stuff doesn't matter. Like, competition, like, who cares? If you like who you are, if you're comfortable in your own skin, you are going to care less about everybody else around you. And that is amazing. And that is exactly 100% how it should be. Because who cares if somebody has the latest Jordans? Who cares if somebody's wearing Guess jeans? That's from the 80s, by the way. I remember my cousin when I was a kid. She's 7 years older than me, I think, or I think 7 years older than me. I remember when she wanted her first pair of Guess jeans, and my aunt was like, are you kidding me? I think they were like $70 at the time, or $80. That was a lot of money in the 80s. That was a lot of money for a pair of jeans. Now, unless you go to like Walmart and get your jeans at Walmart, which are still probably like 25, 30, 40 bucks, like landsend.com, their jeans are like $60, $70. And they're not anything special, you know, they're jeans. But yeah, the Guess jeans. I mean, who cares about that kind of stuff? Who really, like, I don't buy, I don't think I really have name brand anything. Like I said, I have Lands' End stuff. I have a lot of tank tops from ink.com. Like they do like the, you know, the ink logo for like tattooed people. I have a lot of work gear, which I actually wear a lot of outside of here because usually I do things outside of work, after work or before work, and I have it on. I have off-brand leggings from Amazon, you know, probably from China. I don't know. Like, I don't wear name brand anything. Now, purses, on the other hand, I mean, I had Coach, I had Vera Bradley, I still have 2 Louis Vuittons. I had Dooney and Bourke. I think I had like 2 of those or 3 of those. Yeah. Shoes, I mean, I don't really buy according to label. Like shoes, I just buy whatever I think is cute and whatever fits. And right now I'm wearing Hobie Bear. And what's the other brand? They're like an off-brand of Hobie Bear. Summit? Comet? Some kind of it. I don't know. But yeah, just because they're wide foot, like it's for wide feet. So all their shoes are wide feet. And they're actually really comfortable. Someone's gonna go within. Whoever this person is, they're gonna go within. And they're gonna work their shit out with the sacred space card. Like this is somebody that's gonna go within and realize like what is important to me. Who do I want to be? Who am I and who do I want to be, right? I can't stop looking at my tree. Almost all the leaves are gone. They're falling off. And the tree was not as red for as long as it was last year, which was a little disappointing. But it's still beautiful. And I feel like when I'm looking at this card in reference to this reading, usually I say like, oh, this is the protection card. This is the home card. It is. This is someone that's going to go within. This is someone that's going to figure out who they are and what they want to do and where they want to go. And they're going to protect it. And they're going to build their little nest egg up. They're going to build themselves up. And they're going to protect themselves. If you have ever worked in like an office environment, a warehouse environment with a lot of people, you know, and you've been in like a department with like 30, 40, 100 people, whatever the case, Like, you know, when you go to work, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy, you know? Like, there are only certain people that I will hug at work, and I will not hug others. And there are certain people that I can joke around with, and there are others that I don't joke around with, because I don't like the energy they put off. And especially, I'm just going to say it, especially the men there. A lot of the men just exude like this negative sexual energy because they are looking for sex. Like, and I'm just saying. So like, when I meet a man at work, like, I can tell, like, are they more like a friend, or is this like a predator? And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm literally saying that there are a ton of men where I work. Like, that's all they're after. They could have wives at home, girlfriends at home, babies at home. They don't care. They are there looking for women. And there are women there that will meet them. Like, I'm just saying. And you probably encounter that anywhere, right? Office work, right? Like, seriously. But I'm very protective of like who I talk to and who I joke around with, and then when I pick up on certain energies, or if something seems off or something like that, I reevaluate, and I'm like, okay, I can't talk to that person anymore because something came up, something's going on, something's different. This person is gonna go through this growth stage where they start to recognize more from within, where they start to, instead of focusing on the outside and instead of focusing on everybody else, they're going internal. And that can only be a good thing. This card has two meanings for me, you know, and the sideways, I don't think the sideways is necessarily important. I just left it like that because that's the way it fell out, like exactly sideways, which doesn't really happen that often. Not in my readings anyway. I think this person was exposed. I think somebody realized, like, this is who they are. Like, you know, a clout chaser, a competitor, vain, you know, like somebody more into looks, somebody more into money, you know. I think somebody saw them like that, or maybe a lot of people saw them like that, and if they haven't seen them yet, they're going to. But it really only leads to the fact that they get exposed to themselves. Does that make sense? And that's what I mean, like, it has two meanings. This person is going to be exposed for who they are, but they're also going to expose themselves to themselves. Like, they're going to realize, like, oh, was I doing that? Like, you know, it's kind of like waking up and taking accountability. Like, waking up, realizing, and taking accountability. And, you know, again, you don't need to be like that. You don't need to live in that energy. Like, that's not good for anybody. To constantly feel like you need to compete with somebody. You know, like, keeping up with the Joneses. Like, here's the funny thing. Like, when I was married to the ex-husband, I felt like that all the time. I felt like we were constantly in competition to be like the best couple, have the best house, have the best Thanksgiving get-together, the best Christmas party. And it just gets so tiring because if you're not that type of person, you just don't give a shit. Like, I just did not give a shit. And I didn't give a shit at the end. Like, for real. Like, I did not give a shit. It's just not, it's not a good place to be, you know? Like I said, they're going to get exposed. People are going to see them for who they are. And they're going to release that energy. because they're gonna realize they're exposed. They're gonna realize who they are. They're gonna release it. They're gonna let it go. That's right, brother or sister. Let it go. I don't know why I'm seeing like a lot of flashes of white things, like a white house, a white truck, a white bicycle, a white garage, somebody in white clothing. Maybe this person, and I'm going to kind of go out on a limb here, not really, but I mean, maybe this person was just trying to look innocent, pure. Like, I don't do any wrong. Like I'm all good. Like I don't, you know, like I don't do anything negative. I'm always in the positive. And I will say this because it falls right along with competition. Nobody is ever 100% perfect. We've talked about that a lot the last couple weeks. Nobody is ever 100% happy, joyful, positive, right? Everybody has their moments. Everybody wakes up every now and then and hates their life. Everybody wakes up every now and then and is grumpy. We're all human. We're all human. We all experience the same emotions. We all, have our moments. Sometimes more often than not. It just depends, right? It just depends on where we are. And the thing is you're always healing from that. You're never going to heal that. That is never going to be gone. That is never going to be healed. That is always going to be healing. Because it's just in your nature. When you really think about it, it is just in your nature to always go through the motions of emotion. Feelings. Like, if you were happy every single day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for 20 years, how excruciating would that be? Same thing for the opposite. If you're upset, if you're angry every day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for 20 years, how excruciating is that? You need to have a flow of emotions. You need to be able to go back and forth. You need to be able to recognize that that's just a part of your human nature. That's okay. Every day you're going to wake up and you're going to live your life, and you may be joyful, you may not be. You may have a good day, you may have a bad day. You're going to go home, you're going to eat your dinner, you're going to do whatever you do, you're going to go to bed, and you're going to start the next day over more hopeful. Or you should. That's the whole point. The point is not to be perfect. The point is to recognize you're not perfect. The point is to get up and work on yourself every single day. Whether you want to or not. I'm just going to say it. Whether you want to or not. Get your ass out of bed and work on yourself. Whatever that means for you. Exercising, meditation, reading a book, eating breakfast, watching TV, doing laundry, whatever. Going for a walk, playing with your pet, going to dinner with your family, whatever. Every day is an experience. Every day is a different experience. And how do you want to live those days? Listen, I'm not perfect by any means. I think I've proven that in the last almost 2 years. I think I've proven that. But you know what? You know what I can honestly say? I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty proud of myself for being the decent human being that I am, for trying, for getting up every day and wanting to be better, to do better. Because that's what matters. I'm not getting up every morning trying to be a sociopath or a psychopath or whatever. Like, I'm working on myself every single day, and I will be until I pass, as all of you will. And that's fabulous. And I don't want to come off as innocent. I don't want to come off as pure, because I'm not. I've lived. Like, I've lived this life. I've had good things happen to me. I've had bad things happen to me. And I don't care if it shows. And I don't mind talking about it. Because again, we're all human. We all have the same experiences. Maybe not exactly the same, but pretty damn close. And I was, you know, I did the Creator Oracle this morning by Chris Ann for affirmations. And one of the cards in there is like share your story or tell your story. I fully believe in that. I mean, I tell you my story all the time. You guys listen. I fully believe that people should tell their stories. I fully believe that people should talk about their past, their present, their future. How do you ever expect to work through things? How do you ever expect to go towards things? And to me, growth is abundance. I'm going to leave it there. I hope it resonates for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you're entertained. I hope you all have a fabulous hump day, witchy Wednesday, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.